All right, guys, welcome to the Digital Barbell Podcast. Thanks for joining us. It's your first time finding our podcast. Welcome. My name is Jonathan. This is my wife, Blakley. Today, we're going to be talking about 8 fitness myths that are keeping you stuck. So if you have made progress in the past and you have stopped, or you have tried making progress and it just hasn't worked, there's a good chance that one of, if not multiple of these fitness myths are things that you believe for one reason or another. And we're going to set you straight on all of them today. How does that sound?
Awesome.
Do you want to give an update on your baking era before we get into the podcast?
I really wouldn't say it's a baking era yet at this point.
It's your self-proclaimed baking era. So what's going on? Do people want to know?
I've done scones, homemade biscuits, pancakes. I guess it's pancakes and biscuits are baking, and blondies.
Blondies?
The blondies were the standout. Pumpkin blondies.
Wow. You don't consider the Trader Joe's box mix that you made?
No, that was because last Sunday he was like, "What are you baking?" And it was like 7 p.m. We had a long day, and I was like, "Nothing." And I had this box. I'm not gonna bake out of boxes. You know?
Yeah, you have to.
But I just had this leftover box, and I was like, I can make you some snickerdoodle cookies. They were not good.
I think it just goes. And because of this, I've decided to make this my bulking era. You know, just like use these extra calories to build some muscle. Yeah. And
you love a sweet treat.
But we do have a rule that, first of all, you don't make a full batch of anything because these recipes make like 12 dozen cookies. Yeah. So it's like, what are we going to?
I'm not making cookies. Yeah, but they make big things, right?
So you're cutting the recipe in half or a quarter. And then once it goes past 2 days, I'll throw it away.
Yeah, we usually throw it away on Monday evening. So it's like I make it on Sunday. You know, I usually just have it on Sunday. You'll have it Sunday, Monday, and then it's in the trash.
Because it is easy for those just to become a habit. And like all of a sudden, I'm eating an extra 300, 400, 500 calories a day and whatever these sweet treats are.
Yeah, if we kept them around, they lingered till Thursday, and then like I made more on Saturday or Sunday.
It's never ending.
It is never ending.
Welcome to our new clients that started this week. A new group of Strength Made Simple launched on Monday. Another good group of RVers and Airstreamers.
That's awesome.
A bunch of them were, not all of them, but happy to have you guys. The first group that started about 5 or 6 weeks ago, they're absolutely killing it.
They're in week 6 right now.
So if you want to get on the wait list to join that program the next time that we release it, I'll put a link for that in the description below. And we are accepting clients just for one-on-one coaching. Like if you want to work with us directly and have us write your workout program and guide you every week and make sure you get the results that you deserve, you can apply to work with us directly also.
And I am loving the women's nutrition group coaching thing that we are doing right now. We're in week 4 of 8, so we're approaching that halfway point. And I, while I've been instrumental in helping create all of the stuff for it, I'm like trying to be a participant and take part in it just to kind of see how it flows. And like I've rebuilt my meals. I'm snacking almost non-existent snacking. I'm eating more fiber. My meals are filling me up. My meals are full of vegetables. Like I don't know. It's working. It's
That's
a
awesome.
fantastic.
As
it's a
somebody
fantastic like set of education and information. And then the point of it is to like be in a group of women that are like kind of helping support each other with ideas, feedback, accountability, all of the things through the Facebook group. So, with this group coaching, it's kind of a different animal. It's not like, hey, I'm going to, not like one-on-one coaching. Yeah. It's like you're meant to be in a group. You're meant to share with each other in the group, like share your struggles, share your wins, share your ideas, and everybody kind of like, feed off of that together.
Yeah,
and then it's led by, Haley through like each week she comes on and does a live video. She, gives us the PDF of all the education. She keeps us on track with the goals for the week. But then it's meant to like, you guys do the work yourself at home, talk to each other, talk about what's going on.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that it's working out well.
I just like, it's
cool.
It's working out well, and I've really enjoyed like my results from it so far too.
Yeah, you're looking good. I noticed when we started this video, I'm like, man, look at your tricep popping in this video. Bam, holy moly.
Oh, I didn't work out today.
There's no filter on this, guys. This is live. All right, so the topic for the day is 8 fitness myths keeping you stuck. And just like lay it out here at the beginning, this is not coming from any kind of like high horse situation. We probably believed most of these things at some point in our training career. So the point of these things is just to point out some common misconceptions that really do block your progress and tell you what to do instead. we're not going to bore you with like citing every research study on each topic. We want to make this practical to your actual life. So let's just get right into these suckers.
All right. The first myth: eating smaller meals more often keeps your metabolism cranking.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like, I'm just going to nibble all day, so my body is always burning some calories, and that'll end up to my metabolism just being like this thing on fire. Where anytime I eat something, it's just going to burn it off. It's not going to go to my hips or my stomach or anything like that. I think bodybuilders kind of like made this myth even more popular with the just constantly eating like 8, 9, 10 meals per day spread out across the course of the day. But practically speaking, like the way that this sabotages people's progress and makes them feel stuck is they're never fully satisfied across the course of the day from all these little bitty increments of food, 100 calories here, 200 calories there. It's not enough food at one time to give you a lot of energy. And what it ends up doing is since you're never really satisfied and you're eating so often, the total number of calories that you eat across the day ends up being more than you would probably eat if you just sat down and ate some legitimate meals like you were talking about.
Yeah.
So if your goal is weight loss or healthy body composition and you're trying to use this approach, you're probably overeating. And if your goal is fat loss, you're not going to end up in a calorie deficit. And you're going to be hungry because you never had a full volume of food in your stomach. So your stomach never expanded, which sends the signals to your brain like, all right, I'm full. I can stop thinking about food. And just a little sidebar with that, thinking about food made me think about the way these GLP-1 antagonist medications work. Is they basically use the signals that your body already creates to control your hunger and your satiety, and it like shortcuts those to make you not think about food so often and to make you feel like you're fuller after having not as much food. So if we can fill you up with nutritious food in like big 300, 400, 500 calorie chunks at a time, they're called meals. We should try that. We can kind of create that same effect as, just kind of making us not think about food so often. If you're picking throughout the day, you're going to be constantly thinking about food.
And we're such creatures of habit. We get into the habit of like, okay, I eat this at 10 a.m. I eat this at 2 p.m., like in between the meals. And whether you're hungry or not, your mind is going to be like, I need that like 10 a.m. snack. And I mean, I fell into that so easily. I would be like, if we're leaving the house, I got to have my snacks with me. I mean, literally since doing this thing and filling up my plate, making sure I have enough protein, making sure I have enough fiber on it, I am full until the next meal. The meals are big. But if there's only 3 of those meals, then that's...
You're not like, you're just waiting for that next snack to come around.
And it is freeing to be like, I don't have to be eating all the time. Because, I mean, like we want to do other things in the day other than just sit here and eat. So it is freeing to be like, I have several hours before I need to eat again. I can go out and do something. Get something done.
That is true. So just to be completely clear about the science side of things here, there's no metabolic or calorie burn advantage in spreading your calories out into these tiny little doses. At the end of the day, it's the number of calories that you ate across the entire day, and even more importantly, across the entire week and the month. Don't fixate on one particular day. That's going to control whether you're gaining, losing, staying the same, or changing your body composition.
All right, second myth. You'll get more out of your workouts if you keep moving and keep your heart rate up. I think that, it says more out of your workouts. So I guess it depends on what type of workout you're doing. So we're talking about the types of workouts that we prescribe for our clients, where you have, a warm up, you have a strength component, you have a couple bodybuilding type movements, and then you have maybe a finisher at the end. And in our case, like that finisher is where we want the heart rate up. Throughout the whole workout is where we want intensity, and intensity is different than heart rate.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I think that's a really good distinction that you made there. You'll get more out of your workouts if you keep moving and keep your heart rate up, only if the goal of that workout is to increase your conditioning. Keeping your heart rate up is what increases your cardiovascular capacity and your conditioning. But if your goal is to build muscle, strength, improve your body composition, it's not about keeping your heart rate in any zone. We see all these things printed out on elliptical machines and treadmills, like this is the fat burning zone, this is the whatever zone. No, the muscle building zone, the body composition improving zone, is the one that allows you to put in the highest effort into your strength training and your weightlifting as possible. And that's not going to be doing a set of jumping lunges or burpees in between your sets of bench press and deadlifts. We want to let your heart rate come down. We want to let your muscles recover. enough so that next set, you really do feel like you're putting a hard effort into it. And your muscular strength is the thing that limits what you can do.
Yeah.
Not that you're out of breath. You're
Right.
just, you're shortcutting your results with changing your body composition if your goal is to be out of breath a lot.
Yeah, and what this can look like you said, either pushing in some like jumping jacks or jumping lunges or squats or something like that in between your strength sets just to keep your heart rate up. Or it can look like doing too many things supersetted. Like, okay, I have my list of 5 movements and I'm going to like superset these two, superset these two, superset these two. And so you're really giving yourself, even if it's like an opposing muscle group, you're really giving yourself no recovery to hit that next set and to actually see, make any progress.
It's still going to come down to like your cardiovascular endurance limiting what you can do. Even like you said, even if like you're doing a bicep curl and a tricep push down where there's not a lot of overlap in the muscle groups,
overlap in those.
you're going to be out of breath, and it's going to limit how much you do on that second exercise every time. And I think at the root of this is people still thinking that how many calories they think they burned or their activity tracker says that they burned during their workout is going to be the secret to them getting results. But it's a complete dead end. Your nutrition, as we're going to talk about in a little bit, your nutrition is what controls what happens with your body weight. What you do in the gym as far as lifting weights and getting stronger is what controls whether you build muscle, you see that muscle, and if you get stronger. The things are not the same.
All right, third myth. The best way to lose weight is to avoid carbs.
Believed it. Followed this. Fell for this myth for a very long time. And it's like super easy to fall into because there's this gray area where it's like carbs don't make you gain weight or prevent you from losing weight. But if you're struggling to lose weight or you're gaining weight, you're probably eating too many carbs. So there's
too many of a specific kind of carb, mainly.
But it's not the carb's fault. It's not the carb directly causing your problem and the thing that's keeping you stuck. It's the total number of calories. And like you said, the type of carbs that you eat. I think the reason that this myth is so enticing is because when you go on a low carb diet, you get this amazing instant feedback as soon as you do it. For during the first few days, you're like, holy smokes, I lost 5 pounds in the first 4 days of this diet. And all I had to do was cut out carbs. Because you got to remember, when you eat carbs, they store in your muscles and in your liver as something called glycogen. It's reserve energy used for a lot of different things. But when that happens, it binds with water. So you're taking on water weight that you can't see on your body. It's not your stomach getting bigger. It's not anything like that. It's inside of your body. It's in this form of glycogen. So as you stop eating carbs, your body will use the glycogen you already have stored for energy. And if you're not eating carbs, it's not getting replenished. So as the glycogen goes away, so does the weight of that water. So you get that immediate payoff of all that water weight flushing out on the scale, and it's super rewarding. And then like that steadies out because you reach a baseline level of glycogen and water in your body. You still have fluctuations and stuff, and that kind of stops. And then you start thinking like, maybe this isn't working. Maybe I need to do something different. Or you regain the weight and you go through this cycle because you're like, well, it worked before, I should do it again. So it's not a sustainable way to lose weight, and it's super enticing just because of that big
I would say also because anytime you're like cutting any kind of food group out for a limited time, you're just eliminating a lot of things that you would probably normally eat. Like, so you're gonna be like, most likely you're gonna be in a calorie reduction just because you've eliminated like this whole food group.
Yeah, just think about the foods you can't eat when you don't eat carbs. You can't eat pizza, you can't eat cookies, you can't eat baked goods or ice cream,
apple or rice.
You cut out a lot of nutritious food too. So that's the reason that the diet works, is because those foods are so high in calories. The same thing could happen if you go on a gluten-free diet. Like you stop eating bread, you stop eating pizza, you stop eating pasta. All foods that are really easy to overeat that are also high in calories. Now, luckily, like they have an entire section in the grocery store now that are full of gluten-free cookies. But this is counterproductive to most people's goals, not only because it's unsustainable, but because if you do want to improve your body composition, get fitter, stronger, look like you work out, those carbs, as I said, they're energy, are going to be the thing that fuels the type of training that we do.
Yeah.
So you're not putting any fuel in the gas tank. Don't expect to be very, very efficient in the gym and have very productive workouts. You also notice if you go on a low carb diet that you're going to have things like brain fog, bad breath, interrupted sleep. People in your life will be so annoyed with you because it's all you talk about. So anyway, choose your carbs wisely. Get most of your carbs from grains like rice, starchy carbs like potatoes, high fiber carbs like beans, fruits, vegetables. All these foods are high in carbs but low in calories, and that's going to be the way that you can still include plenty of carbs in your diet and it not block you from losing weight or causing you to gain weight.
We have a great cheat sheet. If you just go to digitalbarbell.com/cheat-sheets, cheat sheets. We have so many resources. Like, you could just hit download. You don't even have to enter your email address on these. You just get it. Just get it.
Just go get it.
We just want you to have it. And there's a bunch of cheat sheets there, and one of them is like these pantry staples. And I think that's a good kind of like example of like some carbs that you can like carbohydrate ideas that you could fill your pantry with that we're talking about.
We don't, neither one of us track our food in an app, but last time I did check, I eat well over 250 grams of carbs per day, and I bet you're well over 150. And it's not causing us to gain weight. Yeah. So,
all right, myth number 4: your metabolism is why you can't lose weight.
Man, wouldn't it be convenient if the real progress blocker in life was our slowing metabolism? But unfortunately, even if you are a fairly normal person like us, your metabolism only slows down a couple hundred calories per decade. I didn't say week or month, an entire decade. Your natural, what's called your resting metabolic
Is it like
rate,
right at the like 20 to 30, 30 to 40?
Yeah, no, it knows. Like,
it knows when that clock.
When 50 hits, like boom, that day you automatically need 200 calories less. But think about like how small that is in the percentage of your overall daily diet. Like, most of us can easily mindlessly eat a couple hundred calories per day. So that's all that it declines naturally. And the great thing about even the part that does decline naturally and why it doesn't stop you from losing weight is because so much of your metabolism is still in your control. So much of how many calories you burn per day is about how active you are. So much of it is about how much you've invested in building muscle on your body that keeps, because muscle burns more calories than anything else on your body. So much of it is about what you eat. Eating a high protein diet helps keep your metabolism cranking because it costs more calories to digest that protein. The natural part of your metabolism decline is so minuscule that it's definitely not an excuse for why you can't lose weight. Now, there are health conditions where some people have issues with their thyroid, and they can have a larger decline in the part of their metabolism that's less in their control, but there's still a ton of their metabolism that is in their control, and there's medical interventions that doctors can help you with if you do have these legitimate slowdowns that are part of aging and thyroid. Somebody on the internet, a coach who posts on Instagram is not the person to diagnose whether you have that or not. You need to go to an actual doctor and get blood work. We have clients like in this boat, and we don't prescribe them medication to fix their thyroid. They go to an actual doctor and they take care of that side of it, and then they still strength train and do their conditioning and eat a high protein diet with us, and they live happily ever after. That's the way that it works.
Done with that one?
I'm done with that one.
You could go in for all of it. Okay.
I get triggered a little bit because it's such an easy excuse to pull out. I mean, like, a guy came up to me in the gym the other day. He was there just like babysitting somebody, or I don't know. I was on the rowing machine. He's like, "What does this machine do?" I was like, "Oh, it's for conditioning." He goes, "Well, maybe I ought to do some of that." And he patted his stomach like he had a big belly. And I was like, "Well, most of that is unfortunately kind of controlled by what you do in the kitchen." And he goes, "Well, I don't know. At my age, everything just slows down no matter what you do." And I left it at that, of course. But it's like, that's how most people think.
Right.
You
don't have a choice in the matter.
You're just supposed to naturally decline into a big puddle of slime who just continues to gain weight forever just because the number of your age continues to go up. And that's hogwash. We don't believe that around here.
All right, 5th myth. What you eat isn't that important as long as you work out.
Oh, man.
We used to totally do
guilty of this one.
It'd be like, I went to the gym, let's make some brownies. I went to the gym, let's stop and get this, or that. Yeah.
We have a free resource called The 10 Reasons That You're Working Out But You Don't Look Like It. It's a email series where we'll email you every day for 10 days telling you about all 10 things, why they're holding you back and what to do about it. I'll put a link to download that below. It's really good. And this one's on the list for good reason. I mean, gyms are full of people who are working their butt off, but never really change. Like they're getting fitter because they're doing exercise. They're probably building some muscle and getting a little bit stronger, but they never significantly change their body because they're ignoring the part that matters the most.
Change their...
What they're doing the other 23 hours of the day, what they're putting in their mouth. And doing this is, you can get by for a long time like this. Eventually some health markers will catch up to you because you'll continue to gain weight, and that will open you up for chronic disease and things like diabetes and stuff. But it's kind of like trying to save for retirement. You actually are saving for retirement, but instead of putting that money into a mutual fund or the stock market or whatever, you're just putting it under your mattress. You are saving, you're doing something, but you're not getting the true benefit of saving for retirement, and you're going to be shortchanged in the end because you ignored one part that really mattered. If you had invested that same money into something that had compounding interest, that money would have doubled every 7 years or whatever the statistic is, and you would have gotten exponential results. And the same thing goes if you accept that this is a true myth and you start paying attention to your nutrition. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect with your nutrition, but you can't ignore the things that actually control your body weight, energy balance, how much you're putting in. You can't control the fact that eating enough protein is what gives your body what it needs to be able to build muscle and start to look better naked. You know, it's just something that there will be this switch that flips in your results if you finally admit that the thing that's holding you back is that you're putting all the work in the gym and you're just completely ignoring your nutrition. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say about that one. Oh, we have so with this Strength Made Simple program, I wrote a free nutrition guide that went with the program. So there's like the branding in it and all that stuff is specific to the program. But if you're somebody who like, I don't even know where to start or what I should be doing, you know, send me an email. I'll put a link to my email address below, and I'll send you this guide for free, and it will give you a great starting point for free.
Sweet. All right, the sixth myth. Women need different workouts than men.
What do you think? I mean, I would say at some point in my life, I thought there was like women's workouts and men's workouts, especially when we went to 24-hour fitness in the
because all the women were on like one side and the men were on the machines.
Well, and even like now, going to the Y, when we walk in, we walk past the group fitness room. I've never seen a man in there doing one of those group fitness classes. So there's definitely people out there that still believe this is how women should work out and this is how men should work out. They do an entirely different thing because they have different chromosomes.
Right. No. So number one, we do not program. We've had a women's and a men's physique program before because that's like a specific program desired to like give, you know, men like more like chest muscles, women more like glute. But overall, no, we do not program different things for men or women. We will change the weights, but that, you know, that's where it is. They're going to be doing the same workout. Yeah,
because like there's nothing physiologically different about how a woman's muscle responds to lifting a weight versus a man's. Like they respond the same way to nutrition in the same way too. So it's not like men need to be lifting this percentage weight for this many reps and women need to be lifting this percentage for this many reps.
But I will say that there can be like preferences. So like I've definitely like seen some programs written by men that wouldn't be good for women. Like because it's like super like chest biased, like, you know, it's going to be a 4-day program and 3 of those are like a chest and arm workouts.
But that's based on like their goals, not their physiology.
Like physical goals that they're trying to get. So I think that like there can be like, you know, a big swing. If you were to like just download a program off the internet, you could download a very gender specific program.
Oh yeah.
Or I mean, I've done like a peaches program before that was like
all you do is eat peaches.
Just a glute based program, you know. And I think men probably don't download that as often, but yeah.
So that goes to exercise selection, not the fact that women need to be lifting light weights for high reps and men need to be lifting heavy weights for low reps, or women need to, you know, use pink dumbbells and do HIIT workouts only, or should avoid intensity because it's going to cause them to gain belly fat, or any of this nonsense that's kind of going around out there. We all need the same things, and there can be some adjustment to the exercise selection based on specific goals.
Yeah.
And that can even not be based on gender also that could just be based on somebody's preferences or specific goals too. Like, we could ask our custom clients, like, do you have anything specific that you want to work on? Like, and they're like, yeah, I've always been self-conscious about my shoulders or my abs or whatever.
Right.
And we can give them more volume or different exercises for those things. But the base of the program is the same. Everybody needs the same things to different degrees, and that's it.
Yep. All right, the 7th myth. Going for a walk is as good as doing a workout.
I've never fallen for this myth, but I still hear it even from clients sometimes where it's like, I didn't do a workout today, but I did go for a 40-minute walk. I'm like, man, if you had 40 minutes to go for a walk, like that would have been better spent, 30 minutes of it lifting some weights and then 10 minutes of it going for that walk.
I guess I would say in those situations, you always think about what were the circumstances. Is it there was, heavy stress day or something that there was something going on. They mentally just needed to get out of the house and go for a walk, where you still could go to the gym, but, or you're, kind of recovering from being sick or something. You're like, I'm just going to walk because this is kind of all I have the capacity for right now. In those cases,
those are, yeah.
But I'm saying
that doesn't mean that it's as good as doing
overall,
a workout.
yes, no, it is not as good as doing a walk.
As a workout.
Right.
Yeah, because they have different outcomes.
Yeah.
It's basically just I'm deciding to make a trade-off. Going for a walk is good for my cardiovascular health. It's good for my mental health. It's good for my joints. It burns a few calories. And let's just say that's the good thing about it.
Yeah.
Going to the gym and doing my actual workout helps me get stronger, helps me build muscle, improves my insulin sensitivity, all the benefits we just talked about with metabolism.
Right.
And if I decide in that day I'm not going to do that because I don't want to and I'm going to go for a walk instead, then I'm willingly making that trade-off.
Right.
But you're fooling yourself if you say it's as good as.
Right.
It's just a decision that you make. The thing that I would just warn people with in this is, like I've said before, you get better at whatever you practice. And if you are just putting off your workouts because you're not that motivated and you make an excuse and say, I'm just going to walk instead, you just practiced not doing the hard thing.
Yeah.
And you did the easy thing. What you felt was easy in the moment. So since you just practiced doing that, the next time it comes around and you're not feeling that motivated, it's going to be even easier for you to not do the hard thing and go do the easy thing. And it's going to spill over into other parts of your life because you continue to practice avoiding doing the hard thing.
And how much better do you feel when you're like, I don't feel up to going to the gym right now. You do it anyway.
Yeah.
And you get that full workout done. And then you not only feel great from doing the workout, but you feel so good mentally about that decision you made. And then, like you said, you're going to, next time that comes up, you're going to be remembering that situation where I felt fantastic. I'm going to do it. And you get good at pushing into that. We go to the gym, not because, oh, yay, I can't wait to go to the gym, but because we've built the habit of going to the gym.
Yeah.
Not because we're motivated every day to go to the gym. Especially now, honestly, now that we work out in these public gyms, it takes 25 minutes to drive to the YMCA here. It's crowded. We're navigating people, all this stuff. I often am not motivated to go drive and go to that gym.
Yeah.
But
we
do
practice
it.
the skill of doing the hard thing.
We could easily be let's just walk the dogs today.
Yeah.
And that we know that if we do that several days in a row, that is, that's going to become our habit. And that is definitely not as good as us going to the gym.
So if this is happening to you once a month, it's not a big deal.
Right.
If you're doing this every week, skipping a workout to go for a walk instead, it's a big deal. You need to think about what we've said in this and decide if you're trying to avoid doing the hard thing.
Yeah. All right. Number 8, the 8th myth. Losing weight and getting in shape is physical, not mental.
This was kind of your idea because we've just been talking a lot about how this whole fitness game is really just one big exercise in delayed gratification, doing what you know is good in the long term. And all that happens up here in between the ears, not the weight that we're pushing in the gym. It's you have to do the physical things, but you're never going to do the physical things unless you play the mental game and you get your mind right. It's easy to start a program it's easy to get up enough mental energy and motivation to start a program.
Sign up. You get
yeah.
like an instant hit. You're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I signed up for this thing.
Oh, you just made
Yeah.
me think, like, I would love to see the statistics of how many people sign up for 5Ks and then don't actually do the thing, because so many people get the benefit, the high, like you said, as soon as you sign up, and it's like, oh man, when it comes around to doing it, like, now I got to do the hard thing. So anyway, people are good at the mental game when it comes to like getting the motivation to start something. But the hard part is overcoming the obstacles that come up once you start the thing. And like I said, that's everything that happens in your head. Imagine like getting in your car for a road trip and you type in the city that you're going to try to go to. Boom. We're going to Houston, Texas. And we're just going to drive straight through. We start driving and our GPS does not take into account the weather, the traffic, construction, anything. Like all it knows
The
is
amount of
like
hours that you'd be sitting in the car physically driving.
it's focused is the destination.
A to B, yeah.
How unsuccessful would that trip be? Number one, you'd fall asleep at the wheel, but you get stuck in traffic. Like all these bad things would happen if all you did was like start and you just put blinders on. And that's kind of what happens when people set off to get in shape. But really, like, getting in shape, staying healthy for the long term is all about like overcoming the things in your life that pop up once you set the destination into your GPS. It's being aware of, oh, this popped up. I need to navigate around this. Oh, this is a reality around this situation. I'm going to make a compromise here. I'm going to use a little bit of something is better than nothing here. I'm going to take this little detour. That's the mental game, because that's all this talk that goes on in your head, where it will be easier just to ignore it and quit, turn around and go home. And that's what most people do. They'll get a little bit down the road. One of these things will pop up. The mental game will give them a reason to quit or a challenge to continue. And if they don't have a powerful enough reason to, troubleshoot the situation, it's easier just to turn around. So it's about adapting to all these things and just not giving up. I think another thing with this is, and I'm not going to pretend to be a counselor, is a lot of people have like deeply rooted psychological issues in their life, and they think that doing physical thing is going to like help them completely overcome it, so they suppress whatever is actually going on mentally and they just focus on the physical side of it. But eventually, like, the psychological comes back up, and if they're never willing to like actually deal with those things in some capacity, it's going to derail their physical progress every time. This is probably most related to food. Like, anybody can go on a diet, but if you're overeating is because of childhood trauma, like there's no macro prescription or a number of grams of protein you can eat per day that's going to help you deal with that in a healthy way. So you have to eventually like recognize the fact that this whole thing is just as much of a mental game that you have to face and figure out a way to deal with, than just focusing only on the physical, like, if I could just lose those 20 pounds. Anyway, that's my sister is a counselor, so I'll put her name in the stuff. Actually, we have some clients too. At least two that I can think of that are therapists.
You went to school for
my degree is in psychology, but I never intended to like actually go down the
why'd
therapist
you
route.
major in that?
I had a real big interest in what's called industrial and organizational psychology. It's like so like
you go to a workplace and you help.
No, they have those in like professional companies and stuff too. But the thing that really interested me was, like, let's take Foot Locker, for example. They would hire an IO psychologist to come in and like try to help analyze why people would buy certain products and like how you could change the store to influence behavior with buying. Like, I always thought that was really fascinating.
Have them walk this way and sweep around, and like, I think IKEA definitely hired them because they like basically make a maze and make sure people can't get out, and then they've purchased a bunch of things by the time they get or Target. I think Target is like another one that would have that. That's interesting.
I think there's probably people that are like living in IKEA just because they don't know how to get out. I give up. Like, there's food here.
I think Target's
there's
worse.
Beds.
I don't like how Targets are laid out. How they're like half the rows go this way, and then they have that big wall in the middle with a few little places to slip through, and then suddenly you're on this other side.
You're trapped. You're like a rat in a maze in there. You start looking down the aisle. Oh no, that one doesn't go through. Oh, this one goes through. Maybe I need that.
Which way was the exit? I get so.
It's so true. Yeah, but you really can't even see when you're in the back of those stores which way is the exit.
I was going to talk a little bit about this. Is I mean, not as deep as what you were getting into, but like the mental side
That's good.
of
We don't
like
want to get this too deep.
of kind of like navigating these things and like coming out ahead. Like, so as you know, we've talked about many times, we're going to the YMCA right now, and this particular one we're going to is it's crowded. We try to go in the least. I mean, the people at the were like, y'all are coming at the least crowded time, and it's crowded. So I can't imagine
It's crunk, as the kids say.
going when it's even more crowded. And I, have always done the workouts that I write for our clients, the whole thing, warm up to ending. And I'm really struggling to do a lot of the finishers as written in this type of workout, because in this type of gym, because there's no floor space. The only floor space is in a yoga room where you're kind of supposed to be chill and quiet. So I definitely can't bust out like kettlebell swings and burpees and run through the gym and try to find a place to run in this specific scenario. So it's been like a mental challenge for me to like be okay with like changing these things. So for example, yesterday the finisher was like running hang power cleans and burpees. And it almost, I'm like, I got through everything and I look at the finisher and I'm like, ugh. And so sometimes we will often go to a park and we'll drive from the gym and go to a park and we can like, do the finisher. Or like yesterday, Jonathan's like, I'm going to go do some more curls, of course. And so I'm like, I'm doing something and I walk over, they have these great platforms, these lifting platforms. I load up the barbell and I do like 5 sets of 5 hang power cleans and like built up to a really decent weight. And I was just like, I felt so much better about myself. I'm like, I got some good work in. I didn't get exactly what that finisher said, but I was able to like do, work out with a barbell on these power cleans. I haven't been able to have space to do that in a while. Anyway, so it was like this decision where I could have just like left the gym kind of like downtrodden about like, I can't do exactly what I want to be doing right now, like with our workouts, because it's important to me to like do the whole workout, just like, if I ask the clients to do it, I'm going to do it.
Practice what you preach.
Yeah. So anyway,
I would also just say, wrapping this like mental thing up, like if you're somebody who struggles with the mental game, you're normal.
Yes.
Like I hope you don't think that just because we're coaches we don't.
Oh my gosh.
Or that our most successful clients don't. Like everybody does. Like everybody is tempted to fall into the all or nothing mentality. Everybody has reasons for days that they're just not motivated. Like that's completely normal.
And just like we were talking about before, you get better at what you do. So if you practice like pushing through that side that wants to tell you to quit, that tells you you're not good enough to do this, or like you don't need to be doing this, or whatever it is, like that's what you're going to get better at. But if you get better at pushing through that, if you get better at like rerouting and doing what you can in that moment, then you're going to get better at that. Like like I always say, burpees make you mentally stronger, but I am a mental case in all the time, and specifically in doing like hard things in the gym, and like I use tricks like counting tricks is one of the things I use to like really get me through like doing something hard. Like whether it's like
I can do 2 more
doing sets of like push-ups, for example. I've been really on this kick of like trying to do about 100 push-ups every time we go to the gym, and I have to use so many counting tricks to get myself through that, because like I can't just count from 1 to 100, or I can't do like, even doing 10 sets of 10 feels overwhelming, because I'm like, that's 10 sets. Like, and when I'm on set 3, I'm going to want to quit, So I use all kinds of counting tricks. Like I'll do a set of 8, then a set of 7. And then I'm like, hey, all of a sudden I did 15 push-ups, like, and I do that. And like all the different types of work that we do, like whether it's like just like bodybuilding or strength training type stuff, I will do counting tricks to help myself get to a certain number. Or if it's like in the conditioning section and I'm trying to like get through something, I will do counting tricks. And it's just really this way I've like learned how to teach myself to like keep going by using these. Do
you have a mental trick just for a day where you're just not that motivated to go work out, but you know that you should?
I mean, I think like I was talking about before, like, I'm less motivated now to go work out now that we have to like drive to a gym, go. I'm not sure what the environment's going to be like, So
how do you overcome it? What's your mental trick? What's the hack?
I mean, I don't really have a hack on that one. I just like kind of like do it.
Put your shoes on.
I just start to move. I start to move. And I think the more that you do that, the more that you start to do it and you know, like, okay, this is not going to be exactly what I want it to be, but it's going to be something. And then a lot of times we leave, we're like, fist bump, and that was awesome. That was a great workout. Like, remembering that moment, that like, the more you do it, the more you remember those moments where you're like, okay, last time I went and it was fine. Let's just go again. Especially like going to new gyms every, few weeks or months. Like I'm a very creature of habit, and this is a huge step outside my comfort zone. So like going into a new gym for the first time, every time I'm like, oh, while we're here, let's just not like go to the gym, and then we'll go try it. And then I'm like, oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, they have this,
I call it future casting, like being able to look at the past experiences you've had and use that in the moment to be like, okay, I know in the future this is how I'm going to feel if in this moment I can convince myself to go do it, and that's going to be a good enough reward or reason to do the thing now, knowing that I'm going to feel like this in the future. And that works both ways too for like skipping. I know the way that I'm going to feel. I can future cast to 2 hours from now, Jonathan, and be like, you know what, I'm really disappointed that I went ahead and skipped.
In that moment, you might be like, I'm just going to lay on the couch. I just need this today. Like, this feels good. Yeah. And then 15 minutes in, you're probably like, shoot, I should have just gone to the gym. And then, like you said, 2 hours later, you're going to be like, kind of mad at yourself. Speaking of like, getting over hurdles and stuff like that, we can see, we have some neighbors out this window right here, and they have like 4 kittens. And we were just talking to the guy yesterday that evidently they are
climbing trees now.
They're fosters, so they're just keeping them while they're kittens. And we were like, oh, what's crazy that they can't like climb out of this area. Now today they've learned how to climb a tree. So they were sitting there thinking, we'll never get out of here. And now they're like, oh wait, you can climb trees now.
Yeah, you might be over here soon.
I was trying to think like
Buttons
maybe
and Lacey will love that.
Kittens don't have like claws.
Oh,
I think their claws are developing.
And then also to wrap this podcast up, if you're still listening, you are one of our true fans. So I was just going to say that I'm super excited. I hope you're excited and relieved, but we have made our plans beyond Boise. Yeah. So stay tuned for where we're headed next, but somewhere neither one of us have ever been before. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get any extra stickers on our door because of the places that we're staying, like as far as new states to visit, but I'm excited both about the cities we're going to go to, the potential to go to our first national park or 2 maybe, and to see 2 cities that we've never seen before. So super excited.
To see some different things on the drive. Like
we've
kind of,
some beauty.
Ever since we lived here, we've kind of driven the same way back and forth from Texas to Idaho, and one of 2 ways. And I'm Different.
excited. So stay tuned for that. If you don't already follow us on Instagram, it's just you can just search for Digital Barbell. And we'll put all the links to those things we mentioned today in the show notes for this episode.
And your phone number.
No, email address, not my phone number.
All right.
All right, y'all have a good day.